obviously Soto goes to New York and is in the MVP talk all year long, has made that lineup so much better. It was exactly what the Yankees needed. And the Padres needed starting pitching, needed some relief help, and they got Higgy also as the catcher. They needed that too. So it's a great trade, worked out, and it showed up last night in the first postseason game for the Padres.
And I'm in love with the good life. Can't give it up. Make it to the top. Keep climbing. I wanna live it up. The good life. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. The good life. Good life. Oh, good life. Good life. Good life.
Boom! Coming in hot, Chinchy. Playoff time, baby.
Playoff time. This is so much more fun than when it's like August 16th and you're like, wait, what's going on? Let's get to that next level. But
Yeah, right.
dude, now we're in it. It's like I can't turn the television off. It's the best round. It's like from 2 o'clock until the end of the night, you're just watching baseball games. It's great.
That's the best part of it. That the fact that you get to come home. Like I said yesterday, I was watching with my son Andrew. Like, you were watching games at 2. Like, we're locked in all day long. So that's this first round, this wild card round is awesome because you got 4 games all day long.
Right. And like just such different types of teams in this playoff run. But I got to say, man, the Padres might look like the most complete playoff type team right now after what we saw last night.
They look dangerous, dude. They look dangerous. There's a swagger about them that you got to love. Tatis just striking early, 2-run bomb, second deck. Place almost comes down there in San Diego. That was so cool. But I think the story really was Michael King. And if for anybody that's listening doesn't know who Michael King is, Michael King was the big piece in the Juan Soto trade. They wouldn't have traded anybody if they weren't getting King. Now listen, when I came to the Yankees last year, King was a reliever. Always wanted to get in the rotation, but the Yankees were a little hesitant by it at the time, and they needed a starter down the stretch. And Kinger was like, let me start. Just work me up. So I watched them one outing go three innings, then 4 innings, then 5. Then all of a sudden I was like, this guy is nasty. And Chinch, one of the best students of the game I was ever around. He was always trying to figure out, how to throw certain pitches, where his fingers go, how to set guys up. I feel like he did a lot of stuff at the Yankee pitch lab, I think the offseason before, going down there right when the season ended, kind of work on his pitches. This guy has one of the nastiest 2-seamers in the game. Wipeout slider, was painting his 4-seamer yesterday. He went 7 innings and struck out 12 guys.
Yeah.
And dominating. I mean, he got into trouble in the first and then wasn't in trouble the rest of the game.
Yeah, that's the thing. After that first inning, the game just happened. It just came to him and he just dominated. I mean, dominated. Hey, how about his battery mate, another former Yankee?
Oh man, so good to see Higashioka, Kyle, man, come up with a big home run and a big sac fly. Yeah. Early on, got a sac fly in the second, I believe, second or third to make it 3-0. And then hit the big home run late to put him up 4-0, which is a big deal. That means a grand slam ties you. You want that 4th run, 5th run, because it's just a big deal. So it was really cool, man, to see Higgy do as well as he did, to see Michael King do as well as he did. Remember, they got Johnny Brito and Randy Vasquez too in that trade. 2 other big pieces in that Padres bullpen spot starting too. So it's a trade that worked out for both teams.
Yeah,
you like to see that in baseball when obviously Soto goes to New York and is in the MVP talk all year long, has made that lineup so much better. It was exactly what the Yankees needed. And the Padres needed starting pitching, needed some relief help, and they got Higgy also as the catcher. They needed that too. So it's a great trade, worked out, and it showed up last night in the first postseason game for the Padres.
Yeah, there's that old adage. It's like the best trades made are the ones where both teams and both managements kind of walk away with a little pain, like, oh man, shoot, I really didn't want to lose that guy, but I had to get this guy. And that's exactly what this trade was. Great job by both front offices. King is worth that type of move. If you're going to have to get rid of a Juan Soto, you get a King back and you've made a good deal on both sides. Everybody's happy.
Oh, big time. You don't have to pay King yet either. You know what I mean? You don't have to pay him yet.
That's a great point. Yeah. One day he's going to get paid. He keeps pitching like this. Whew.
Yeah.
Giving these guys $50 million. All right, let's get into today, man. We got so much going on. Let's go. Who we got for probables? Let's kick things off, if you wouldn't mind, with the Kansas City Royals and the Baltimore Orioles, because you really didn't see much other than great pitching out of both teams. So you got Lugo going against Effin, two teams that literally both struggled at the plate yesterday. One's up 1-0. What's your take on this one?
Well, I mean, with Kansas City, this is where they got better this year. The reason they lose 106 last year, or they were one of the worst teams in baseball. The reason they're better is because J.J. Picollo, their GM, went out and got Michael Wacha, went out and got Seth Lugo. Cole Reagans was also I believe he was in the Aroldis Chapman trade. If you look back at that trade, that's going to turn out really well for the Royals. They got Cole Reagans in that trade. I mean, we saw what Reagans did in game one. He's been nasty all year long. So you look at that rotation, and Seth Lugo has probably been the surprise from day one with the Royals. They're like, wow, we didn't know he was going to be as good as he was. I mean, ERA just over 3, has really been such a great veteran presence in that rotation, along with Michael Wacha for these young guys, Brady Singer and Reagans and these guys. So that's going to be a great matchup. And Zach Eflin was the guy that, that's who they went and got at the deadline. They got him and Rogers from the Marlins. Eflin kind of has been banged up a little in the second half, but he's got the stuff to shut some people down too. So I think it's going to be another great pitching matchup. Like we saw Burns and Reagans in game one. I think you're going to see the same kind of thing, Eflin and Lugo, and it's going to be the same way, man. Who can come up with the big hit? Yeah. Who's going to get the big hit today? That's the bottom line. So, I got to think the Orioles are going to come out, not going to roll over being at home, roll over and lose 2 in a row. Yeah. But that Royals team's good, man. And with Seth Lugo doing what he's been doing, that's going to be a great matchup.
Case, what's that lid you got on right there?
Dude, you kidding me? It's my favorite hat. You know me, Chinch. I'm a hat snob, dude. I really am. This is my new melon hat. I've had it for a few months now, dude. It's incredible. It's super comfortable. The one thing I love about it, too, sometimes you wear hats all the time. They get those sweat stains. This hat doesn't get a sweat stain. It's got unbelievable comfort fitting. It fits perfectly with the snapback on the back. It's 5 times more durable, I think, than any other hat I've ever had. So, man, this hat's incredible. The melon hat, man. You got to get a couple of these, brother.
Yeah, dude, I've heard about them. It's like the most premium, durable headwear in like the whole world. And, people use them for tailgating, working out on a golf course. You're going golfing later today, heading out for date night with Sarah. You throw the melon cap on, right? Am I right?
I wear it for everything, dude. The only thing I can't wear it to is premium restaurants where they're like, okay, you got to take your hat off. So other than that, I'm wearing my melon hat pretty much everywhere. Dude, it's my new favorite hat. I've been wearing my melon hat for the past few months straight, dude. No sweat stains, what I said, no smell. Looks the same as the day I took it out of the box. I get a ton of compliments on it every time I wear it. It's even better. They have different options for different weather. If it's warm out or you might be jumping in the pool, lake or ocean, you need their Hydro Collection, bro. The Hydro Collection is next level, Chinch. You'd love that. But when it gets cold and you need to stay warm, don't worry, brother. Melon has you covered there as well. They have a full thermal collection with different levels of warmth to keep you on whatever you need for when the winter's coming up, brother. Big time. Nice. So if you're looking for hats as tough as you, my man, check out Melon. You won't wear anything else after you get one on for yourself. And I know I've been loving my Melon.
Yeah, listen to Sean Casey, folks. If you're looking for the world's most durable hat, look no further. Go to melon.com. That's MELIN.com and put it to the test yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, very cool. Also, let's move it back. Stay in the AL. Detroit and Houston. I think they're all must-win games, of course, this time of year, but Detroit's bullpenning basically today. If you're the Astros, you got to win this game, I think.
You got to win. You got to win. And you got a workhorse going in Hunter Brown. I mean, Hunter Brown's been really taking another step as a big league pitcher this season, really starting to understand who he is and how good he is and the great stuff that he has. So, Hunter Brown's going to bring it. And obviously you're going to see A.J. Hinch do what he's done all year long. This bullpen's the most used bullpen in baseball, and you're going to see that the next couple of days here. Holton's going to start off, but he's only going to be in there for a little bit, and you're going to see, you're going to see A.J. empty the tank with matchups all game long. Yeah. And it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, A.J. didn't just, use his bullpen more than everybody else. He used his bullpen, historically, the next 2 or 3 teams after bullpenning, he uses these guys every day in, day out. So That's really where they're at. This is their strength. They're playing to their strength. But I never feel good about a bullpen game. I don't care how good your bullpen is. It's just weird to me. It's a weird feeling.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? The Tigers have done it so well this year that I think it'll be fun for all of us to watch how AJ Hinch maneuvers and plays that chess game with his bullpen today.
Yeah. I think the momentum, if any team that's been playing so far has more momentum than anybody else, I think it's been the Mets, man. They had to fight their way in, just like you said, towards the end of the season. You're like, I want to be streaking. I want to be streaking when I get to the postseason. The Mets are, and I can't believe how well they hit yesterday. But you got Manai on a mound, who is arguably coming off one of the worst starts of his season.
Right. Yeah. And I wonder, Chinch, if that's going to be good or bad, because you always feel like the great pitchers, when they have a bad start, the reason they're great pitchers is because they rebound fast. You know what I mean? That whole, at the end of the day, if you're a 300 hitter, you want to struggle. You're a 300 hitter because you struggle for 3 or 4 days, not 3 or 4 weeks. If you're an elite pitcher like Sean Manaea has been, you're elite because you struggle for 1 start, not 3. You know what I mean? So I'd have to think Manaea is going to have his good stuff today and really be in the mix. Frankie Montas is another reason that the Brewers, they've really kind of been banged up in that rotation. And, they went and got Montas thinking that, that he could settle in. So he's a guy that'll give it up, though, too. Frankie Montas could be a Jekyll and Hyde. He'll give it up, but he also could be dominant. He still has good stuff, good fastball, 95, 96 miles an hour. So that's going to be an interesting matchup. I think the one thing I was thinking about when I looked at this, especially game 1, and we talked about the other day, was when you're playing really stress playoff games, meaningful games like the Mets did. They already played 2 huge games, but they basically played that last month or 3 weeks were playoff type games. The Brewers had kind of clinched it a while back. You know what I mean? There was nothing. They were just playing to play it out, maybe try to get that number 1 seed or whatever. But the Brewers, it felt like the Mets, there was still that life's on the line, in that game. You could just feel like we got to make this happen. I think that's why they went 5 for 7 with runners in scoring position. They still have that sense of urgency. You didn't see it so much with the Brewers in game 1. I think now that maybe they have that game under their belt, it'll be a little different coming into game 2. So it's going to be a great game, man. It's going to be. I'm really excited to see how these games turn out. It's just love baseball, dude. It's great.
No, it's so great. It's so great. And I am interested to see. I don't know what it is. I'm fascinated by how fast the Milwaukee Brewers lineup is. They are fast from top to bottom. You want to see if maybe, they got a manager who's got that college coaching mentality. Maybe they're just going to come out and get after it that way, try to get back that momentum from the Mets.
Well, with Terang at the top, man, if he can get on, but that's where you really need Adames and these guys to come through. If you got traffic on the bases with your guys that can run, man, you got to find a way to drive them in.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be the theme today with the Brewers, no doubt about it. Did you see the thing yesterday with Winker after he got that triple? He was like,
oh yeah,
he was chirping or whatever, and they say he was chirping at Adames, but there wasn't really much after the game. They're like, what was going on? And Adames said, that's just who Winker is. He's just all fired up, chirping and all that stuff. So
yeah, it's interesting to see. Don't forget, we got to go all the way back to the first week of the season when Rhys Hoskins and all that with McNeil at second base.
That's right. That was Brewers Mets.
Yeah, that was Brewers Mets. They're a feisty team, dude. I don't know. I don't think these teams like each other. If there's a kind of a little kind of dirty pool anger, I think these 2 teams like each other less than anybody else that's playing right now.
Yeah. Wow. I forgot about that. That seems like yesterday, Chinch.
Oh my God.
Although it seems like yesterday and 10 years ago, because I remember we were talking about the Mets. We were fired up. Carlos Mendoza. That happened. I almost think that exchange hurt the Mets. They went 0-5. They're just trying to figure it out. McNeil's all amped up.
Yeah.
All doing his thing. So you're right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So let's see what happens with that. And by the way, didn't Manaea give up a grand slam to Hoskins again last time he started? I don't know. We'll see. That's a fun.
Yeah, he did. He did.
There you go. All right. On the flip side, I said the team with the most momentum. Here's a team I think might have the worst momentum right now going into this, the Braves. So they got their loss last night, but what is it? You're only as good as your next day's starter. They got freed today.
Yeah, well, I think that's huge. I think with the, you had to burn Schwellenbach, and then Sale goes down. Now you have a problem. So, like, you're really relying on Max Fried. You got to get one of your aces back. So, Max Fried going in game 2, he's been pitching really well lately. This is huge for the Braves because they need obviously they need a W and they need it bad. And who better than to have one of your aces that you know for the longest time in Max Fried going tonight against the Padres.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so we got a lot of games. You know what? Let's do this. I don't know why this popped into my head. I'm thinking about something dumb, some sort of gimmick to do. Yeah. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Pick a player. We'll do this every day. Pick a player who's going to hit a home run today, and I'll pick one too.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
All right.
We got. I'm looking here too.
Spencer Torkelson's coming in my head right now, and I just got to say I'm going to pick him. It
Spencer.
popped right in my head. I'm like, just going with it. It's like when your mom says, "Go with your first answer." You know, when you're on the test, did you change it? So if Torkelson goes deep, I'll be pissed. So I'm just picking him.
All right, I'm gonna go. I am gonna go with. I made this a hard question for myself.
Chance, you got 4 games.
I know I got 4 games. I am
pick
gonna
one.
go McCann. Catch.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
That's what happens in the playoffs. Weird guys.
You're right, dude. Like a McCann comes out and hits a bomb, wins the game.
Yeah, there's your clip. I'll be doing clips on myself if that happens.
Chance, also, too, you being a Yankees fan, I'm interested to see who you going with. Is it Verdugo? Is it Dominguez?
You mean for?
Yeah, to play left field. I think it's a big dilemma right now.
I think when you have like Cole on the mound, you're putting your best defense out there. I think it might be. I don't know. What are you doing?
Is Dominguez that much better offensively than Verdugo right now? If I had more of a sample size from Dominguez, I'm definitely going Dominguez.
Yeah.
But because he kind of struggled this last month and he's not been good in left field because he's learning it, he usually plays center.
Yeah.
I'm going with Verdugo.
I think I'm with you on that.
He's
Plus,
battle tested in the postseason. He's been there. I'm going with Verdugo. I'm not messing around right now. No time to develop prospects right now.
Plus, you need to have an ego in the postseason, right? Like, he's got a nice ego. Like, I'm not saying that as an insult. I'm saying it more of a compliment. You got to have people that are confident in the playoffs. You don't want to be sitting out there in the outfield going, "Don't hit it to me. Don't hit it to me."
Exactly.
And I feel like that's how it would be the other way around. So, good question. Exactly. All right, man. Let's go watch some more baseball. We'll be back at it tonight, live again.
That's right. Yeah, tune in on the Believe. How do they find the Believe Network?
Just type in BLEAV in your little Google thing there. But we're live on their YouTube page. Believe's got their website. We got our websites, and we'll just keep promoting it. And then go to the old internet and the Twitter and stuff. We'll shoot it out there every like 15 minutes before we come on. You'll see it pop up on Twitter or X.
All right, perfect. Yeah, come join us tonight. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. All right, brother.
All right, man. Love you, brother. Hey, everyone out there, thanks for listening. We appreciate you big time, and we'll see everybody tomorrow or tonight on Believe Live. Yeah.